Hi, I'm Deepika Grover with Grover Mortgage Group.
And I'm Natalie Van Cardo with the Nat Nate Real Estate Team.
Welcome to our new podcast,
Real Estate of Mind,
where we discuss real estate, life, and everything in between.
We're excited for you to follow us and join in on our journey.
Hi, Sue.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Sue, when I think of networking, I always have your face in my head because of all the stuff that you do for networking. So please tell us about how you got into it and kind of how you started.
Well, I've always networked. I think that's the whole thing, is my whole life I've networked. Mm-hmm. It's just something that's come very naturally to me. When I was first in real estate, I networked. But I didn't network with the usual suspects, which are mortgage brokers and other realtors, lawyers. I would network with people I did business with, like service providers, places where the conversations were happening. Mm. When I lived overseas, I networked. I mean, I've been lucky enough to live in Belgium, Japan, and the US.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it was really great. But when you get there, it's kind of like, whoa, what am I doing?
Like starting from scratch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you network, you talk to people to find your way around. Mm-hmm. It's something you just learn. Oh, we all do it. Mm-hmm. It's just whether we do it well. So that's what I've just really honed in on now, is I realized over COVID, a lot of people lost the plot. Mm-hmm. We suddenly got very desperate to get business. And it was through these Zoom screens. And so we came to get business. So we didn't realize you had to still, you may have a follow-up call doing a Zoom meeting, but you still got to nurture and build a relationship. You can't come to those conversations to get anything. You come to see how you can help that other person.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
You always add value.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest thing, is when you come to that conversation, how can I add value? Ask, how can I help you? What do I need to listen for so that I can refer you? Mm-hmm. And that's why it's important to have a clear message about who you are, who you serve, the problem you solve, and how you solve it. Because if you can be very succinct in saying that, you become memorable. And if you're memorable, you're referable. If somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh, I work with anybody," that's difficult because I don't have anybody called anybody in my phone.
That's true.
That's the worst thing you can say. "Oh, I work with anybody." The truth is you maybe can, but no, you need to have a succinct message. And so that's really how I think it's just something I do naturally, and I just really have gone into the coaching business around it recently because I just saw what got lost over COVID. People lost the plot. They lost the art of networking. And there is a follow-up to doing and all that stuff.
You're so right. In every aspect of socializing, I think people have lost it. Since the pandemic, even in dating, I feel like people have forgot how to approach people in real life. It's all social media and it's all apps now. Mm-hmm. And I think it's in every aspect. So I think bringing it back is really, really important.
And when you said, don't ask for something, add value, I can name so many mortgage brokers that took me out for lunch. And then we had this good conversation at the end. It's "Oh, do you have any clients you can refer me to?" And I'm like, it just soured the whole event. It didn't seem genuine. No. And I'm this whole time you just want to know if I have anybody. And I'm I don't ask that to people. Do you have anybody that I could sell their house for? I just want to create a connection, and then hopefully you think of me. But yeah, it's just all those agents totally turned me off. I'm no, I don't want to work with you. So yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, it is. It's just, you just feel icky.
Yes.
It's just okay, you really didn't want to get to know me. You just want my database.
It was more transactional.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sales can become very just salesy. But I think at the end of the day, people need to remember that nobody wants to be sold to. People wants to feel like you're working with a friend, or you're adding value to something at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So it's a very important distinction that I think a lot of people forget.
Yeah.
And so you coach now?
Yeah, I coach on that. I call myself a networking mastery coach. So I work with people because people, they need to understand, number one, who they're looking for. And some people don't have any clarity around that. They can't express who they're looking for, who they want to work with.
Like who their target audience is.
Yeah, who's their ideal client.
Right.
And to really niche it down. And people get afraid to niche down because they think, oh, if I just do this, then what about all these other people?
Yeah,
well,
you're so right.
But no, if people read what you're writing, they may say, I wonder if they can help me. I kind of need that service too. You're not eliminating anybody, but it just makes it so much easier when you're doing your marketing. If you can talk to that one person, like really just give them a name, call him Fred. But talk to Fred when you're delivering your messaging, when you're writing your real estate ads, when you're writing your mortgage ads, or anything. Write to one person, that very clear avatar that you have, because your messaging will be heard, but it just helps people see themselves.
What are some like faux pas that you see that you want people to kind of avoid when networking?
Saying you can work with anybody.
That's actually a really good one. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, because I mean, as a realtor, you say, well, yeah, I can work with anybody.
I work with buyers, sellers.
Yeah, we say that all the time on the pod.
I'm tired of it. Yeah.
But that's actually a really good point. And I never actually thought about that before, because I say that all the time too. I'm like, oh, I can work across Canada with anyone at any time. But it shouldn't be like that. You're so right.
Yeah, because if you're talking to me or in a conversation with somebody and they are trying to deal with a specific issue, then I can think, oh, that's something Natalie can help me with. Or, if somebody pops into your head. But if it's anybody, it's just kind of like, well, I do know a mortgage broker. I do know a realtor. I could, probably point you in that direction. I don't know if they're a good fit for you.
Yeah, because you don't know exactly what they do. Okay, so what would you, I want to do a little case study on myself. So what would you say to me? Like, how should I market myself going forward?
Take the time to write out a couple of them, actually, of ideal clients, ideal avatars, people you really like to work with. And just work a message around those. Like, who do you help? How do you help? What's the problem you solve? Like, really, and I mean, really go into depth. How old are they? What kind of TV shows do they do? What kind of books do they like to read? Where do they live? Are they single? Are they married? Do they have children? What's their income level? I mean, I can send you a sheet if you'd like one.
That would be amazing.
Which you go through the whole process. Because there's more to it than just the, name, rank, and serial number. It's just, if you really understand that person. And a good way to look at that is also to go back through past clients. And look for common denominators. Like, who were they? Were they single professional women, or were they families? Like, to really look at who you've served in the past, and just start,
and like who I've actually really enjoyed working with, and like what deals I've really enjoyed doing. Okay,
and start to market to that, just because you want to bring people to you, and if they see themselves in your advertising and your marketing, they will be drawn to you.
It's interesting that you say that, because during COVID, I did just that. Like, I just sat down, I honed in on my ideal client, and I did a lot of marketing around it. And then I got busy and kind of left that. I still serve them, but it's not in my messaging, like how you're saying. So like, you're sparking an interest. I'm like, hey, go back to that. Because I have all the, like, everything already. It's all there. Like all my guides and everything. So it's, just kind of bringing it back in and focusing on it, which, it's good. Yeah,
because then people see themselves and say, she's talking to me. That's the person I want to talk to.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, though. I think it's hard once you get busy to continuously like work on that. You know what I mean? Like, then you kind of just want to take whoever you're getting at that point.
Well, it's not like you're going to turn down business.
Exactly.
But it's just like when I'm putting out stuff, I kind of forget that ideal client or that one family for me that I'm constantly working with. Which, it's just, I got to bring it back to that.
And I think it'll relieve a lot of our pain points that we're constantly talking about and the people we deal with if we start targeting who we actually want to work with, you know, because then we won't be entertaining people that we might necessarily not want to work with.
Yeah, because you want to attract to you the people you like to work with.
Yeah.
And it's also good for getting involved in their languaging. I actually was talking to a coach last night about my business and saying, like, how do I make sure I'm speaking people's language? Because sometimes you think, they don't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't get it. Mm-hmm. So what she told me to do, I tend to use Fathom when I'm talking to people on Zoom. So I record our conversations because I like to pay attention. It also is great if you forget something. You think, oh, what the heck did I say I was going to send them? You can go back to the recording and listen to it and say, oh, that's what I got to send them. Yeah. But she said, take those transcripts, those conversations, and put them into AI. And say, you write out a prompt saying, tell me what their pain points are, tell me what they lose sleep over, analyze this conversation and give it to me in their language.
I love that. So I love using AI, and that's like, oh my God, that's fascinating.
Yeah, well, this is it. I'm going like, duh, I've got all these people I've talked to about networking, and it's an untapped resource. So, I mean, I've got to make sure I don't spend too much time playing with it, but I thought, that's a gold mine I'm sitting on.
No, that's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Is to go back. So, the same thing with your client notes. Go back and put those into AI and say, what are their pain points? What are those things that they lose sleep overnight? What do they write in their journals? And ask it to give it to them, in their language, so that you can start to use their language in your marketing.
God, this is so interesting. Yeah, I'm like starting to rethink the way I've been marketing myself all along.
You got to look for ways of differentiation.
Differentiation, yeah.
Especially in saturated markets.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's thinking of like joining a networking group, what are some things that they should have ready or prepared if it's their first time or they want to get better at it?
Well, first, know who you're looking for. Have that, and I hate the word pitch, but you need to have that down pat so that if somebody says, oh, what is it that you do? Mm-hmm. Then you need to have that really crystal clear in your mind, and that's where figuring out your ideal avatar is really a thing to do. If it's an in-person networking group, if you can get a hold of the guest list, review it and figure out who, number one, maybe be your ideal client, or they would have connections to your ideal client.
Yeah.
You don't want to suddenly say, you're my ideal client.
You over there.
It's kind of ew. But but if you know who you're looking for, then you can make a point of talking to those people. Those are the people you need to connect with. Because the mistake I think some people make, especially if they're new to networking, is they try and meet everybody. Mm-hmm. You can't. Mm-hmm. So really focus on who's going to be there if you can, and go and make a beeline to talk to those people. If you're new to that group or you're nervous, then sometimes you can, if you get there early, you can help the person running it. Mm-hmm. Say, hey, why don't I give out the name tags while you do this? So it gives you a chance to talk to people, see who that person is, if you haven't been able to do the research ahead of time, and say, that person looks like a good person I'd like to talk to. So you can do that kind of thing. So you can be proactive. But the biggest thing you can do is have your pitch ready. And also have planned time in your calendar to follow up. Because that's the biggest mistake people make is they go to all these meetings and then they don't have time to follow up. So plan, make an appointment with yourself to do that follow-up. It's important within the first 24 to 48 hours to send a note, whether it be a handwritten note or an email, saying, hey, it was great to meet you. And if you can, mention something about your conversation so they know you were listening. Mm-hmm. And then just plan a way to follow up. If you didn't have a long time to talk to them, then arrange to meet for coffee or have another, a Zoom meeting, whatever. But I think those are the key things, is like have your pitch ready, have a plan, and have plan to follow up.
And in that follow-up, what would you suggest people say? Like, do you think people should pitch themselves in that follow-up, or like what exactly would you recommend?
No.
You're like, no pitching.
No. Yeah. No. I mean, allow the conversation to come up. Listen for how you can help that other person. If you're constantly coming from, I got to tell them what I got to say, then they're not going to hear, it's just going to fall on dead ears because they don't want to be pitched.
Yeah.
That's the thing drives me cuckoo, is if I say yes to somebody on Facebook or LinkedIn, and the next thing I get is this, whoa, look how wonderful I am. Do you want to buy my stuff?
That's true.
It's like, no, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
We haven't had a drink and you want me to jump into bed with you? No.
So true.
Like, it's not. I mean, it's just the worst thing you can do. No, just allow it to come naturally. Like if you just send them a note saying, thanks so much. It was great to meet you at at XYZ. I'd love to have a longer conversation with you. Would you be open to having a coffee?
Okay.
Just build the relationship, nurture the relationship. Don't go for the jugular. No. Just figure out how you can help each other. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not your ideal client, how can, maybe they know somebody. It's not about who in my network can I refer you to? How can I help you? I've always been taught palm up networking instead of, coming to get something. How can I help?
I think that is the part that's lost.
Mm-hmm, totally.
Especially in our generation. It's completely lost. It's more like, what can you give me?
It's like me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like I've been in situations where I kind of, same as you, kind of think like, how can I help you? Is there anybody, whatever? But then it's not reciprocated. And you're like, no, then I'm not going to meet you again, or not going to go out of my way. So that's like, I think the main point that a lot of people need to hear is that, how can I help, opposed to how am I going to get something from you? Yeah.
Yeah. And that really is key. I think it's looking for ways to help the other person will always benefit you. And that's why I said that I used to go to my service providers, especially as realtors and mortgage brokers. Where do the conversations happen? Mm-hmm. They happen while you're getting your haircut. My blasted husband just came home and said we're being transferred to Vancouver. Now I got to get that. Well, you know what? My client Sue actually really likes to work with people who relocate. Mm-hmm. Would you like her contact information?
Yeah.
But you have to build those relationships. I used to have one-on-one conversations with my service providers. And it's something I call my sunflower strategy, which might be a good visual. So you are the middle of the sunflower. It's all dark in there, but you're the middle of the sunflower. The first round of petals are the people you talk to on a regular basis, whether it be your hair salon, your chiropractor, the dog walker, the martial arts studio, the fitness studio, where, for the want of something better, people bitch and complain, where they talk about what's going on in their lives. Now, if you've built relationships with that first round of petals, like by saying, hey, can we have a conversation? I'd like to learn more about your business and tell you a bit about mine, and we can become a prosperity referral network for each other. They may not be able to give you referrals all the time, but it's that conversation. If they got your information, and the same with you as a hairdresser. Not everybody likes to cut curly hair. Mm-hmm. Not everybody likes to do colors. Not everybody likes to do kids. Like, if you know that about them, that's great. You build your own directory. So you become a resource for the people you know. If somebody moves into the neighborhood, or you help somebody set up a mortgage, and they say, oh, now the first thing we got to do is find XYZ.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got these people that I trust. It's my trusted network. Would you like me to refer you? Mm-hmm. So you become a resource. And so that first round of petals you nurture on a regular basis. And some of it's natural because you go to the hairdresser on a regular basis, get your nails done, see the chiropractor. So you kind of reinforce that.
Yeah.
But I think that's something we can do to help people. And then eventually they'll start to send back, and suddenly the seeds will start popping for you because you're building this reciprocal network. It's just something I've always seen, rather than, who wants to hang out with more mortgage brokers and realtors?
I don't.
Or lawyers.
No, and we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. Yeah. We, especially anytime I go to a networking event, I don't want to talk to other mortgage brokers. I don't want to talk to other realtors. I want to talk to people like you, or the last networking event we went to, I talked to a dietitian and a nutritionist and people with just completely different backgrounds, right?
Yep.
Because we're so in this business all the time. It's nice to get different insight.
Yeah, I'm just more interested in what other people are doing than what I'm doing constantly.
Yeah. And you build relationships with them, and you keep information on them. You put them in, now I'm dating myself, your Rolodex.
My husband still has one on his desk.
No way. I love that.
On your Google sheet or whatever. Yeah. But it's just a way of you being a resource and of service to other people. Mm-hmm. And they can reciprocate it because, I know when I was a realtor, my brother-in-law and his wife listed their house, and I'm going,
yeah.
Not with you?
Not with me.
Oh,
they said, we forgot you were a realtor. Well, that's it, because I was the sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the relative. And so, you just need to be sort of dropping it in the conversation now and then. But you do need to have this resource, become a resource.
Yeah.
A directory for other people.
Totally. Okay, so you are a networking mastery coach.
Yeah.
Okay, and your business is called Empowered Networking?
Empowered Networking,
Okay,
yes.
amazing. And then you also have an event called Selling on the Spot. Is that correct?
Yeah, I host those a couple of times a month.
Okay, tell us more about that. What is that?
Well,
that sounds interesting.
I've always been intimidated. I'm like, I want to go, but I'm so intimidated to go.
Let's go.
I know.
Okay, let's hear about it, and then
we'll
we'll go.
Every time.
She's like, what's
the
intimidating
networking
about
events.
it?
Yeah.
But the difference is, usually if you go to a network event, don't you dare try and sell to me.
Yes.
In this one, it's like, you better sell to me. It says selling on the spot. So we are expecting everybody to make an offer.
Okay.
So we have people from all over the world who come, who have products or services or programs or courses, and everybody gets 2 minutes to share. So you tell everybody, follow the sort of pitch of who you are, who you serve, the problem you solve, and how you solve it. And today my offer is yada, 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 yada. Who'd like one? Who wants a ticket? Who wants to book a meeting? So that's what it is, a networking meeting. And how you get to follow up, is after everybody saves a chat, like everybody goes around the room, and then the chat is saved, and then you go through and you look and see, because you have identified your offer with a hashtag. So if your offer is about mortgage, you may just have hashtag mortgage, hashtag real estate. You go and look and see who said yes to your offer, and you follow up with them and say, hey, Natalie, thanks so much for saying yes to my offer. Here were the details. Would you like to book that call? You just follow up. And even if people haven't said yes to your offer, you can still reach out to them and say, hey, we were on the same event yesterday. I was curious to learn more about your business. Would you be open to having a phone call or a meeting over Zoom? So you network that way, and you look for ways to collaborate. You might find other mortgage brokers in other parts of Canada that you can start to form collaborations with and say, yes, my license is good in Ontario, but I do have referrals because people are moving from Ontario to British Columbia. So you can look for ways to build collaborations. There's just lots of ways to use it. But yeah, they're a lot of fun, and you have to kind of experience it.
Yeah.
And this is an in-person meeting that happens twice a month.
No, this is actually online.
Oh.
So once in a while I do an in-person, but people seem to prefer the online.
Well, especially if it's all people from all over the world, right?
Yeah, we've had about 43, 44 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah, I usually have somebody from Hungary in mine, the UK, and North America, and Costa Rica, Trinidad and Tobago.
And from the people that are from other countries, what type of businesses do they have?
Oh, heck, anything.
That's so interesting.
I've had sex toys, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
Big market for that. Big market for that, though.
But it's anything and everything. It's people have workshops. A lot of coaches have coaching programs. It's so varied. We have an artist from Dundas who paints on rocks.
Oh, very cool.
And she's always, and actually, they're great housewarming gifts. She can customize any rock.
Oh my God, I love that.
I love hearing about other people's businesses. Like, it's actually like a hobby of mine. Like, I love to hear what other people are doing.
Yeah. And it's fun.
It's cool.
Yeah. and
People
so-
are creative and come up with cool business ideas.
Yeah. And, this last one, somebody was saying, handing out a free sort of lead magnet on how to create good lead magnets. Other people offer free courses. And there's just such a plethora of things.
Is there anything you won't allow? Is there any type of business you won't allow in these meetings? And do you do anything to make sure it's not like oversaturated? Like if there's like 15 realtors that show up, is that okay? Or do you have like
because
a limited
everybody's
amount?
different. Everybody will have a different. Yeah, I mean, it just everybody has their own spin.
It's very interesting.
Because as I mentioned, I do network marketing as well, and I've been on one when I'm deciding to promote my product, and there's been another rep from this, exactly the same company. And we have both different offers. So somebody may take me up on my offer. Somebody may take her up on her offer. It doesn't matter because it's the chances of somebody coming up with exactly the same offer. And if you hear somebody go ahead of you who's with the same kind of business, then you might want to tweak your offer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Okay. And is there a fee for this event? And when do they normally happen?
Well, selling on the spot marketplace has several each week. So yes, there is a fee to attend.
Okay.
So it's usually $25 US for that's the non-member price. But yeah, there's one usually on a Monday night. There's one Thursday afternoon, usually Wednesday morning. I do mine Friday mornings, and as we get more hosts, then there'll be more events.
Okay.
So like the one one on Monday nights appeals to the Australian market
Oh, very cool.
because that's the time zone difference, right? So,
And this is something you've started.
no, do I wish? No. No, this was started by a lady by the name of Jane Moore 9 years ago now.
Okay. And you just host one of them.
Yeah.
Got
yeah,
it.
I'm just a host. Yeah, it started because people wanted an opportunity to sell to each other. Because very many networks, it's just, don't you dare try selling to me because that gets slimy too.
Yeah.
But at this one, you better have an offer. I mean, it's just...
I like that it sets
kind of
the
cool
intention.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. How can people overcome nerves when talking in large groups? Like, what do you suggest?
You could imagine I'm naked, but that might be scary.
I know that's what everyone says. And I'm like, how is that helpful?
No, I go, so you know what happens to me? I have horrible vision. And like when I'm in a big group, I go fuzzy. And I'm like, oh God, I'm fuzzy. And then like I'm more concentrating on me trying to see than actually what's coming out of my mouth. It's like so frustrating. Yeah.
But I think it's the same thing as you want to provide value. So it's not about you. And I hate public speaking.
I was literally about to say that it doesn't seem like you would have an issue with public speaking.
This is not comfortable for me at all.
No way.
But it's just like, okay, I'm here to provide value. So how can I help? So if you come from that, how can I help? What is it that I'm going to say that's going to help the people in the audience? Then that's, I think, if you take the lens off yourself and just be about providing value, it helps. One thing I do if I am standing in front of a large crowd is I do not start speaking right away. I take the time to look around and sort of make eye contact with a couple of people, which I find steadies me.
Okay.
That's a really good tip.
And it also engages people. Because if you get up there and start talking right away, then they haven't had a time to see you. But if you get up there, stand at the podium, and then just take a moment to sort of look around the room, take a deep breath, and then speak. Because people are waiting then they're waiting, they're listening. You sort of engage them by just not doing anything, just steadying yourself. And that's the only thing I can suggest really is that's
a really good tip. And now that you said that, I'm actually thinking back to like, I go to a lot of like comedy shows and I have actually noticed people like come out, not say anything, but look around the crowd, and it actually engages my attention a lot. Cause I'm like, what are they doing? Like, why aren't they just like speaking? But it's so, wow, that's a really good tip.
Very good.
No wonder you're a mastery coach. Oh my God.
It's little things that like meant I would not think that. Because when I get up, I'm like, just get it over with.
And you're nervous and you want to just start talking, right? But that's so smart. And I think you're right. And it would, I think that would calm me down too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just take the time to take a deep breath and look around the room and just engage eye contact, like smile at somebody, just engage them that way and then start instead of just as soon as you get up, oh, here I am,
Yeah.
Because then you'll run off at the mouth.
I've been doing public networking so wrong.
No,
really?
I seriously, those are really good tips. Okay, and you're also you also do network marketing.
Yes.
You just do everything. No, I love it.
Well, network marketing is one of those things I swore I would never do.
Okay, what is it? To talk about it.
Well, it's what that's that pyramid stuff. Oh, I wouldn't do that. And that was my conversation when somebody first asked me. And when I think about it, I did it years ago. I mean, when my kids were little, I needed conversation with adults. So I became an Avon lady.
Right, okay.
So I would push these kids around in the buggy, drop off the catalogs. It's complete strangers' houses, drop them off, then go back a week later, get the order, then go back another couple of weeks later, try and get payment. So, I mean, I was doing it then, and you could build a team. But these days it's changed so much. I guess I was in real estate, actually, when I first was introduced to this. I was a realtor for 26 years, or licensed for 26 years. And about, 12 years ago, a friend said to me, are you interested in doing this? And, no, I don't do those things. I don't do those things. So we'll take a look. Well, no, I'll try your product. Well, I tried the product, loved it. Then she asked the question again, are you interested in the business? Well, tell me more. So let me, because I still don't want to do one of those things. So I looked at the company before I said yes. I did my research. I actually went to a convention before I signed and said yes, because I wanted to see if who and what I was hearing, was it just they're giving me the good stuff in the videos, or are these people for real? And I found that they were solid, absolutely solid. I met the owner of the company, Jeff Olson. He's known as the millionaire maker in the industry. He's got 35 years of history in the business. So I said yes. And the real reason I said yes was I thought, buy a house, buy a night cream. Not exactly a conflict of interest. And this is a way for me to make some additional income. Because the one thing I mentioned earlier, I never wanted my broker saying, where's your monthly payment? I always wanted to make sure that was covered. And that was a way to do it, because it's a fickle market. We never know we're really at the mercy of other factors that we cannot control.
Economic factors, yep. I talk about this all the time.
Yeah, this it's stuff we can't control. No matter how good we are as a realtor or mortgage broker, the market's got us by the short and curlies. It's
100%.
It's stuff you can't control.
Yeah.
So that's why I stepped into it and said yes. And then I saw it as an amazing opportunity. And part of it I saw as something that could not be taken away from me. Ooh. Because I was a corporate wife. And yes, I've mentioned I've lived overseas. But every time we had to up sticks and move, I had to give up my career. It was me that was having to, pack up and go. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was a great experience. But the first time was after I just got my business, my real estate business, 5-6 years in, things were starting to cook. I'd got my license in one of the worst markets ever. So I really learned from how to go door knocking, farm an area and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yay, and then I'm transferred to Japan. Well, there's no way I can do that there. So I found something else to do. I started working at a place called Community House and Information Center, which helped other expats get settled. So I'm chugging along in there, loving it. Hey, guess what? We're being transferred to Belgium. Oh, great. I have to quit again. I have to start all over again. Yeah. And that's what I saw with network marketing, was something that I could do from anywhere. If I've got a Wi-Fi signal, I'm good. I can do my business from anywhere. Nobody can take it from me. And for 11 years, it's been chugging along in the background. I've been getting paid on customers that I started with 11 years ago, who still buy the product. And I just love the fact that it's something that's continuous, provides income. And right now it's providing excitement again because of the new products. So it's something that you need to know which company you are looking at. But I really encourage people to not, to get the nose out the air. Because mine was, I don't do those things. Because I realized it is an incredibly fantastic business model for people who want to have control. And I think right now there's so much uncertainty that people are worried about their grocery bills, are worried about this. And one thing, and especially in the business that I represent, Neora, people will not give up on their skincare. Women will find ways to trim the budget.
So true.
To make sure that their skincare is not compromised.
Yeah. A couple companies that I buy from that are that, but I don't think of ever selling for them, which I promote their products all the time. Have you tried this? It's so good.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. I didn't think that I could do it. Is more the mentality. Yeah.
You can do it. And people say, oh, I don't like sales. Give me a break. Yeah. You do it every time.
I think everybody is selling to a certain degree, whether they know it or not.
It's whether you're getting paid or not.
Exactly. Every time I recommend my friend a product, and just because I'm not getting paid for it doesn't mean I'm not selling that product or whatever it may be.
Well, it's like when you find a pair of shoes on sale, you tell your best friend.
100%.
You find a new restaurant, you tell your best friend.
100%.
And the restaurant owner's going, hey, thanks very much. You didn't make a cent, but you just made him some money. So with Neora, we're the marketing arm. The money they are not paying to, run TV ads and everything else. We are the marketing arm. We're the people that talk about it because we use it. Yeah. We show results. I mean, the before and after pictures are just like, whoa. And you use it yourself. So you can say, yeah, here's my face. Check it out. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's what it is. It's because it's personal. And I mean, I love it. I think it's a fantastic industry. And I say, yeah, initially I was like, I don't do those things. Mm-hmm. Now, hell yeah.
I think it has a bad rep, like the Avon thing that you were talking about really got a bad rep because people are like, oh, it's like a pyramid scheme or whatever, but But
yeah, so and people will still challenge you.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand. Mm-hmm. And with a pyramid scheme, the money is always going up. It's not coming down. The test of it is, would somebody still buy the product if there was no business attached to it? Mm. And we have a customer base of 83% that say, yeah, I will buy this on a monthly basis, whether or not there's a business attached. Yeah. So it's an exchange. But a pyramid, the money is always going up. It's like, buy 10,000, pay $10,000. And once so many people get in, then you'll get your 10,000. Yeah. No, that's run away. But look at the compensation model and make sure that, number one, you're getting paid on your business. And there's an exchange of goods. So it's not. And that's what we won against the FTC. They kept saying, we're not. There's no way we can be with a customer base of over 80%. You just can't be because people are buying the product because they love it. Yeah. So, you've got to be careful.
So for social media, a lot of networking happens on social media right now. What are some social media do's and don'ts that you would recommend? Are you on social media? Do you coach for social media? Yeah.
Don't verbally vomit.
Yeah.
Don't make it again. Provide value. Mm-hmm. Give away your knowledge. Share it with people. Because, if you're... it's just... You've got to mix it up.
Yeah.
You can't be talking about you all the time. I mean, that's really, I would just say is just don't verbally vomit on people. And show yourself.
Like,
show
be
yourself
authentic.
as a human being. And that's another way to network too, is like other people's posts, make a comment. Because that was nice. Natalie posted, my commented on my thing. It's just another way of being seen. But just don't verbally vomit on people. That's really and know which platform you're on, because pictures of you in your bikini is not appropriate on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. You can put that on Facebook, right?
I was gonna say, will it get me a sin? I would never do it though. That's sorry. I'm sorry.
But I mean, you've got to know what platform you're on, and who the market is.
So true.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just telling Deepika, this year I'm not doing any just sold posts. Like every time I see it gives me the ick, and nobody cares if it's sold or not. I know people want to see what's for sale, but for what has sold, I'm just not going to do it anymore. It's just a gloat for me and not giving value to people, which is what you're saying.
I have a question. It's a really good question. Something that I think about a lot. Tips on reaching out to connect with industry leaders or influencers.
Well, probably you're going to find them on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The best way is to get an introduction to them. Like cold reach is just like...
Because they probably get a lot of that anyways, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't like it when people just send me a message, I don't know you. So there's a really cool app you can use on LinkedIn. And it's called My Most Trusted. If you reach out to me, I will connect you on it. And it's for people that you know, like, and trust. On LinkedIn, we all impressed ourselves by saying yes to anybody and everybody when it first came out. We think, woohoo!
Look at all these connections I'm getting. Yeah, so true.
Yeah. How many of you know? Not many.
Like 10.
I hardly know anybody on
I need to get rid of all the realtors on mine, because I said yes to every realtor going. Yeah. But so that particular app, that extension, that Chrome extension, once you're in it, into the My Most Trusted network, then you can look for people that you want to connect with. Mm-hmm. So if you know a particular industry leader that you really would like to connect with, then you start putting in the search. And then it tells you who's connected to that person. So then what you do is request an introduction. So if you're going through and you see that I'm connected to somebody, you send me a message saying, hey, Sue, could you please introduce me to Fred at XYZ? Because I would really like to pick his brain about la la la. Like, you need to give me a reason. Like, I just want to connect. No, but just say, hey, because he's, I really liked his article on LinkedIn recently. So then I take that, I craft a message, I connect you, I connect Fred with me, and I say, Deepika, here's, meet Fred. Fred, Deepika would like to meet you because of XYZ. I hope this is a great connection for you.
Very cool.
I send that off. It now puts it on LinkedIn that Sue just connected Deepika and Fred and your profiles.
Wow, I did not know this was a feature.
Yeah, well, it's something you need to be invited into.
Okay.
And then, so that's a warm introduction to Fred. Fred knows me. Fred knows I know you. So he's more likely to accept the connection request.
Huge. That's huge.
It is. It's huge. And so right now, anybody who's in my network has access to over 50,000 people.
Wow.
Because if you find somebody in mind, then you can say, could you introduce me? Because, if I don't know the person, but you see somebody in my network knows somebody, you ask for an introduction to the person who knows somebody. And then once you get to know them, then you can ask them to introduce you.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it's a really cool app. It's a free Chrome extension. You can use it for free. There is a paid version, which I think beats Sales Navigator hands down.
Yeah, I never really was a fan of Sales Navigator. I don't think it really helped me do much.
I don't know what that is.
It's not worth your time. You have to pay for it in LinkedIn Premium, and it's honestly not worth it. But this sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's that warm lead, right? Which we're always chasing in our industries.
Yeah, because for LinkedIn, for me, it's not where my people hang out or want to get that information, so I don't use it at all.
Yeah. But for connection, like professional building your
connection.
professional network, you can't beat it.
Very cool.
And that one also too. Once you are, if you're a paid member, then you can start to send information out to your trusted network. So I've got about 400 people in my trusted network. And so once a week, I am able to send them an email, which I can let them know what I'm doing, if I've got an event coming up, etc.
Cool.
You can let them know. If you're changing brokerages, it's a great way to let people know. And this, or anything like that, that you really want to get.
That's really cool. I would love that.
Yeah, so that's the first thing when we get off this. Make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn.
100%.
And then I will add you to my most trusted. And then there's a free one that you can do. It just limits the number of searches you can do. But it's brilliant. If you're on LinkedIn, on a Zoom call, and it's a room full of people, and you're going, oh, shoot, who do I need to know? If you have that little gem running in the background, it will tell you, these are the people that match your criteria, because you can put in something called Match Me. And it will
I want to sit and just explore this.
It's genius. It's absolutely genius. And now they've got a mobile app as well. Cool. So
okay, this is like a game changer. We need to really explore this for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to get on a Zoom call with you and show you around and how to use it.
No, that would be great. Okay, and Sue, I'm just interested in your coaching business. What kind of clients do you take on? What kind of things do you help them with? Do you help with like strategy, how to grow their business, or is it just networking? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
All of the above.
Okay, amazing.
I really like to help entrepreneurs and small businesses supercharge their networking skills. And so, I mean, when I talk to people, we look at where they are, what they're doing. Like if I get a new entrepreneur who's got no idea, it's great because we can get them started with a sequence and a follow-up and a routine and a strategy. But if somebody comes to me and says, oh, God, this networking doesn't work. I go to all these events and data. Well, then we talk about it and say like, okay, so what do you say? And if they come out and say, well, blah, 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 all about them, when we say, well, you need to dial it back and get it, your pitch better. Are you fishing in the right pond? If you're looking for trout in a salmon pond, you're not going to find them. So I go through everything, and help people where they're at. So, and I do that either with one-on-one coaching, group coaching. I do a masterclass. So it's really what people need.
Okay.
And I do once a month I hold something called a power hour, and that's a free networking event. I do them at 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock on the second Tuesday of each month. And how it's structured is the first part of the meeting is everybody gets to introduce themselves and say who they are, what they do, etc. And then if they're open to it, we critique it.
Ooh, sorry, I like that.
I like this too, yeah.
I love people telling me in real time, like, I didn't like how you said that, or like, I appreciate that, because it's things
constructive
feedback.
Well, yeah, and that's what it's meant to be. It's not meant to, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But you want those people to remember you. So talk to them so they remember you. So that's how we sort of say, okay, well, if you're open to being, getting some feedback, then people can say, well, I really don't understand what you do.
Yeah.
Then they get that feedback and they can work on, and if we have time, they can redo it then. But they can come back the next time and say, okay, I've reworked it. This is what I'm saying. Or they can try it out. I had somebody who came to the power hour, and then she, took what we said and then went to a selling on the spot marketplace, and she reworked her thing and she got sales. Okay. She'd used her old pitch previously and got nothing.
Wow.
So it was great for her to see.
Let's go to this.
I know. I have to work my pitch. That's what I got to do.
But it's a friendly way of doing it.
I'm not good at pitching at all.
Yeah. I think like the main message that you have portrayed throughout this whole conversation was just being of active service for people.
Yeah.
And then also kind of being intentional with what you say and how you deliver it, which is so important.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
At home.
You are funny.
Well, reach out to me. I mean, I'm happy to give you my cell phone number, which is 289-242-4775. You can text there or call me. My email, probably for the Empowered Networking, is sue@empowerednetworking.net.
Okay.
And you'll find me on Facebook. I think I'm Sue Coleman International on Facebook and just straightforward Sue Coleman on LinkedIn.
Perfect. I'll add it to the show notes.
Yeah. And I'm on Instagram as well. Okay. So, but it's just, I'm everywhere. You cannot escape me.
Okay. Amazing.
Well, thank you for your knowledge and your insight, because it's very helpful. Like, it gave me stuff to work on, and I know you guys were interested too. And I think it has become a lost art. So I definitely want people to kind of be empowered and go forward, because that is how we meet new people and do all these things is networking. So it is the core of most businesses.
Yeah, I mean, it really is key, and it's relationship building.
100%.
That's the whole thing, is just relationship building and adding value, and just seeing how you can help somebody else. And if you come from that, then you can't go wrong. If you look at how you can be of service to people, you can't go wrong.
And I think like social media is great, and social media has come a long way, and you can build connections on social media. But I think there is still something to be said about building genuine connections in real life. Yeah. So I'm glad networking is coming back with a vengeance.
It is.
I'm happy about it. We need to go to more networking events.
Yes, we do.
We need to make 2025 the year of networking for sure. I'm inspired.
Good. And have fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
totally.
And don't expect instant results. I mean, I think that's one thing that people make the mistake is,
instant
I went to that meeting and it didn't go. Didn't get anything. Well, you shouldn't have come to get anything anyways. But give it a couple of months, because you need to build that know, like, and trust, you know, before people are going to give you business and work with you. So take the time to get to know people.
Totally.
And don't be, jumping ship every week because, that didn't work.
That's another really good tip. Like, patience is key for sure.
Yeah.
Because we live in a society of instant gratification now, right? With our phones and everything. So that's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.